Hey boys and girls, welcome back to another wonderful day of retelling using those key details. You guys did such a good job yesterday retelling the story and dragging and dropping your boxes into the correct order. Today we are also going to retell, but we're going to learn a new story. So let's restate our I can statement. Put your hands on your hips, give me a nice big Superman pose, and repeat after me. I can use key details to retell a story. So I can use key details to retell a story. So let's review before we get going. What is the setting? You might remember the setting as where a story happens. And what about the character? Who can remember what the character is? The character is a person or people in the story. Very good job. Now, key details. Remember, those are important events that happen in a story. Yesterday, we learned about important events that happen in a story by reading the book, The Crayon Box That Talked. Today, we're going to listen to the story Rufus Goes to School. Then we're going to talk about the character, setting, and key details in that story. So listen with me. Every day, Rufus Leroy Williams turned the pages of his favorite book. He looked at every picture. He made up stories to go with it. Then he realized he couldn't read. Rufus knew just what he needed to do. He would go to school and learn to read. But first, he needed a backpack. Early the next morning, Rufus scuttled down the street to school. He peeked through the front door. Then he trotted down the hall to the principal's office. He was greeted by the principal's secretary. Principal Lipid's secretary knocked on his door. "There's a pig to see you." Rufus stepped forward. "My name is Rufus Leroy Williams III," he said. "I have a backpack and I'm ready for school." "No pigs in school." "Why not?" said Rufus. "Because pigs track mud in the halls," said Principal. They turn their drawings into airplanes. They play leapfrog in class, and they start food fights. Rufus frowned. "But I have a backpack." "Makes no difference," said Principal, and he showed Rufus to the door. At lunchtime, the secretary poked her head into the office. "The pig is back," she whispered. "I have a lunchbox and I'm ready for school." "No pigs in school." Pigs knock over blocks. They hide under the teacher's desk. They draw fingers on the chalkboard, and they toast their classmates during recess. "But I have a backpack and a lunchbox," frowned Rufus. "Makes no difference," said the principal, and he waved Rufus out the door. Rufus Leroy Williams III really wanted to go to school, and he knew just what he needed: a blanket. During nap time, the secretary opened the principal's door. "Sir?" Rufus Leroy Williams III rushed past her. "I have a backpack, a lunchbox, and a blanket, and now I'm really ready for school." The principal sighed. "I told you, no pigs." "Wait," said Rufus. "I will never blow bubbles in milk or finger paint my classmates. I will not stand on my head during nap time or leave nose prints on the window when I come to school." "Sorry," the principal shook his head, "but no pigs in school." "I have a backpack, a lunchbox, and a blanket," said Rufus. "Is that all?" said the principal. "That's all you need for school? I have this." Rufus showed his favorite book, "and I want to learn how to read it." "Ah," the principal smiled. "That makes a difference," and he escorted Rufus out the office and down the hall. "This is Rufus Leroy Williams III," Principal said as he entered the classroom. "He will be joining your class." "Hooray!" shouted the boys and girls. Rufus Leroy Williams III put away his backpack, his lunchbox, his blanket, and his favorite book, and he was ready for school. He learned his ABCs. He learned 1, 2, 3s. He loved lunchtime and nap time. But Rufus loved story time the most because it gave him time to dream. The end. Now let's think about Rufus and how he went to school. Who is the main character in this book? I would say Rufus. If you said Rufus, you are correct. The main character is Rufus, but there are other characters in the book also. Name another character from the story. If you said the principal or the secretary, great job. Those are also characters in the story. If I said he was excited to go to school, who would I be referring to? I would be talking about Rufus the pig. I sure would. Good job. Now, where was the setting of this story? Remember, the setting is the where the story took place, and this story took place at school. Let's talk about now some key details from Rufus Goes to School. Was it important that Rufus was a pink pig? It might be important that he's a pig, but his color doesn't really matter. Let's talk about some important details. A key detail was that Rufus really wanted to go to school. He was very excited. But then when he got to school, another important detail was that the principal said he could not come to school. This is a key detail because it affected the character. It made him feel sad. And it was a problem for Rufus that he said he couldn't go to school. Another key detail is that Rufus did not give up. He kept going and going back to school until the principal told him that it was okay for him to come. And in the end, Rufus got to come to school. So, for your assignment today, Thursday, September the 3rd, I want you to record yourself retelling the story that we just read, Rufus Goes to School, on Seesaw. Remember to include only key details. See you tomorrow.